tin can, a tin cup, tin Lizzie? Huh. Here we are, tin foil. Today we're going to look at a cool tool for turning aluminum foil into in-scale metal siding on this Feature Friday segment of Ron's Trains and Things right now. Hi, I'm Ron of Ron's Trains and Things, and I want to welcome you to another Feature Friday segment. Today I want to bring you yet another cool tool that I just got and I can't wait to try. I scratch build mini structures that are made with corrugated metal siding. In fact, if you watched my scratch build series on the Barron Brothers Farm and Garden a few weeks ago, you know that that building was largely made of corrugated metal siding that was painted. Well, often that corrugated metal siding is galvanized, or what we refer to in the Midwest on the farm as tin siding. You can buy styrene that is milled to simulate corrugated siding in just about every scale, which works very well if you're modeling something with painted corrugated siding. But if you want to simulate that galvanized siding, painting it convincingly to look that silver metallic color is rather difficult. For years, I have watched people in HO and larger scales use tools that could turn aluminum foil into simulated corrugated metal siding, but I had yet to find one in N-scale. Well, recently, through another YouTube channel, I found just such a tool, and I've purchased one, and I'm going to try it out and give you a little review of it today. So let's get over to the Workbench and take a look at this corrugated siding tool for N-scale right now. My N-scale corrugated metal siding tool comes from Brunel Models, an Australian company that makes this two-piece corrugated iron maker in several scales. The tool consists of a base that has a section of ridges and a tool that has matching ridges to form foil into corrugations. In order to make this work, you first cut your aluminum into 3-foot wide strips, mark them with a fine-tipped Sharpie, and then cut them with very sharp scissors. If your scissors are not sharp, you will fold and crease the tinfoil and you'll have a hard time making the corrugations look right. After some experimentation, I discovered that it worked best to leave the strip intact, to lay one end of it on the base in line with one end of the corrugations, and then keeping the tool at a low angle to the base, run the tool over the foil the full length of the corrugations on the base, pressing firmly but not so firm as to tear the foil. After I've made the corrugations on one piece, I cut that piece to length, leaving the rest of the strip intact, and then I continue down the piece in the same way, and I can make several pieces of corrugated metal out of one strip of aluminum foil. It's difficult to see in this video in N-scale because it's so small, but the corrugations that it makes on the aluminum foil are very nice and crisp. It makes a very nice and convincing piece of corrugated metal siding. I learned about this tool from Luke Towan on his YouTube channel. He made a video in which he demonstrated and reviewed this product, and it looked very, very tempting. Plus, I've seen this same type of tool in N-scale and other scales, but this is the first one that I have found to make corrugated metal in N-scale. I'm going to post a link to Luke's video at the end of this video in an end card. I think we can make some very convincing models with this, and I have one particular scratch build in mind that I'm going to try this on very soon. I'll be sure and share that with you whenever I get to it. Now let's go over to the computer and I'll show you Brunel Hobby's website where you can get this corrugated iron maker in N or any other scale. To get your corrugated iron making, you need to go to Brunel Hobby's website, and I will post a link to the corrugated iron maker page in the description down below. You can find it there. But if you go to the Brunel Hobby's main page, it looks like this, and over on the left in the menus, you'll see a menu called Tools, and then you pick Brunel Models, and at the bottom of that menu, you'll see Corrugated Iron Maker. And brings you to a page like this. You'll see actually a link here to Luke Towan's video where he showed you how to use this iron maker and reviewed it. And then down below you see a list of all the different scales and sizes of iron maker that they make. HO, 135th, O, N, G, 172nd, S. They make iron makers for all of those. In N scale and HO scale, you can actually buy the corrugated iron maker that I got, which is the regular size. It makes the 3-foot by 10-foot scale sheets. They also have one that's called large sheet, and I don't see on here where it says exactly how large the large sheet is. I'm not sure about that, but the 3-foot by 10-foot is a pretty standard prototypical size, so that's the one that I got. Now, if you order one of these corrugated iron makers from Brunel Hobbies, if you're in the U.S., understand that this is an Australian company and it'll be shipped from Australia. That means in part that the prices you see here are Australian, which means in American dollars are actually going to be slightly less. It also means that you're not going to get it overnight, although when I bought mine, it only took me about 2 weeks to get it. So the shipping turnaround is really pretty quick, and if you'd like to get a hold of one of these, this is a place where you can get one, and you'll want to check it out. Again, there'll be a link in the description down below. I'm going to be looking at different ways to weather this aluminum foil siding in future episodes, including paint, and I'm going to try my hand at using some etchant to weather it as well, so you'll want to be sure and catch those episodes when I upload them. If you're interested in trying a Brunel Models corrugated iron maker in N or another scale, I'll post a link to their website in the description down below this video. Also in that description, you'll find my Amazon picks of the week, some interesting things there that you can take a look at and that you might be interested as well, so be sure and take a look. Also in that description, you'll find a link to my Facebook page that I keep for my layout, the Texas, Colorado, and Western, and you'll find information about how you can support Ron's Trains and Things through my Patreon or PayPal me account if that's something that you'd like to do. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Ron's Trains and Things. If you have, give it a thumbs up down below. Be sure and leave a comment or a question down at the bottom of the page. I love to hear from your comments, and I always respond. If you'd like to see more videos like this about model railroading tools, tips, and techniques, then subscribe to my channel and click that little bell and you'll get a notification every time I upload a new video. Also, please share this video on your social media or model railroad forums that you participate in. I get a lot of people who come to see my videos because they've seen links in model railroad forums. So if you are involved in a discussion in a forum and a video that you've seen here might be helpful to someone, please don't hesitate to leave a link and let someone else find these as well. Be sure and join us next week. On Tuesday, I'll be bringing you another modeling segment as we'll be taking the next steps on that scenery base that we started earlier this week. We'll be casting plaster rocks and installing them on the layout, as well as painting and weathering them, and painting and adding texture to the scenery base that we started earlier this week. So you want to be sure and catch that modeling segment this coming Tuesday. Until then, I hope you have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you then.